Hi, Aries, and welcome to your September 2016 tarot forecast. My name is Sky, and I am here to deliver an amazing reading for you guys. Hopefully, amazing. I just wanted to make a few announcements before I start the forecast. First of all, if you want to check the description box below, I have opened my own Etsy shop where I do personal tarot readings and consultations, and it's been a really fun undertaking for me, and I put a lot of work into it. So, even if you can't buy anything, I would love you guys to go and check it out and just take in the aesthetic of it all. Also, I have changed the format of my readings a little bit. First of all, as you can obviously tell, it is an audio recording now instead of a video. I'm not sure whether that's going to be temporary or permanent, but I do know that I want to integrate videos and audio recordings to create the best possible experience for my audience. And this reading applies to Aries Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or if you just have a lot of Aries in your chart, or a lot of first house placements, it can also be applicable. So anyway, without further ado, let's see what's going on for Aries in September 2016. I'm going to take in this spread for a moment. Okay, so I think a lot of Aries are feeling like they've lost their spark. It's like Aries is the youngest fire sign. Aries is cardinal fire. So you're always looking for that spark to push you forward. You're always looking for that passion and the enjoyment and just, I don't know if I want to say drama that exists in life. And it's like it's been drawn out. It's like maybe from the last few months, there were a lot of really good goals that you met that we see with the Four of Wands on the bottom left corner. You had a lot of success. You had a lot of things going well and struggling, but it's like over the last few months, it kind of, the good outweighed the bad. And it's like you're finding yourself in September thinking, wow, it was a major roller coaster over the summer. And now things just kind of seem to have resumed normalcy, and I'm like, I can tell that Aries is wanting to get onto the next big project. And that's especially suggested with the Page of Wands there in the reversed position. And it's like you're trying to take on this project that may have been in the works for a while, that may have been really successful during the summer. And it's like you feel like you need to go at it from a different angle. You feel like you need some new innovation. You need just like I said, a new angle to go at it from. And you're going to find that, I think. Watch out for taking advantage of others or letting others take advantage of you. We've got that Seven of Swords right there after the Hanged Man. So don't let the Hanged Man energy of kind of things being in limbo, things kind of not going at a really fast pace. Don't let that energy make you go so stir crazy that you go and take on a lot more than you can take right now. He's got those 5 swords he's holding in his arms and the 2 that are behind him, and it's like he has to be careful that he doesn't cut himself. He's holding them with his hands, and the way he's walking, it's like, first of all, one of the major interpretations of the card is, intentions that are not honest, bad intentions, trying to take advantage. And that comes from the fact that he's looking over his shoulder. It almost looks like he's sneaking away with all those swords. Obviously, it's implied that you should avoid that in the month of September, Aries. But I also like to interpret it from the point of view that they've taken on so much more than they can handle in this reading. And it's like you're looking over your shoulder because you don't want others to see that you've bitten off more than you can chew. You want people to see you holding these 5 swords, and it's like they're in awe that you have so much on your plate and that you're doing well, and you don't want to mess up. But don't let that desire that you have right there take away from the project itself and what's in the core of your goals right now. We need to turn that Page of Wands upright. We need to take that spark and we need to keep it healthy, and we need to balance that with a structure. And that's where the King of Swords, I think, is going to come in and really help you out, Aries. Because, to make anything successful, you've got to have that passion, but you've also got to have the structure and organization. And the King of Swords is very structured, is very organized. He's the highest masculine principle of structure, organization, and logic. Likewise, okay, I think that this is really interesting. So let's talk about how the Nine of Cups is reversed under the King of Swords there. It's like, over the past few months, you were riding on a wave of passion and a wave of aspiration, and just sort of things were falling into place. But it's like you've gotten to a point of success within your project or in what you're trying to accomplish, and it's like now you're having to really do the dirty work, you're having to really put in the long hours, and you'd rather be doing something else. So it's like you're having to step into the role of the King of Swords, and you're having to just sort of detach and do what you have to do. And that's kind of cramping your style a little bit, Aries, and that's not a bad thing. It would do it to anybody. But you have so many rewards to reap in your career, in your financial life, if you can kind of step into the King of Swords energy, not be so emotional, and not need everything to give you kind of a spark and a sense of joy. That sounds kind of gloomy, but, to do anything successfully, it's not always going to be fun. And don't let the lack of fun that you might be feeling right now stop you from the work that you're doing, because, sometimes to be happy, we can't always be happy in the moment. Like, think about your future, Taurus. Aries. Think about your future if you continue this project that you've been working on so hard. It's going to be really good. So, from a love perspective, I think that things... So let's talk about the Aries who are in relationships. Things are going pretty well. And if they haven't been, they're about to pick up. There's about to be an understanding that happens. One of two things are going to happen. For the Aries who are in struggling relationships, you're either going to find in September what you need to continue the relationship. There's either going to be an ebb and flow of sort of give and take, compromise that happens, and you two are going to be able to come together, and you're going to be able to finally work more as a system instead of selfish entities. You're going to be able to be a system. Otherwise, you're going to finally see the person that you're with, and you're going to finally see them for what they are. And you're going to be able to, if they're doing anything bad, if you're worried that you're being cheated on, if you're worried that, the way that they voice their feelings are not the way they actually feel, it's going to be obvious. You're not going to really have to think too much into it, and that's a good thing. Now, obviously, it's never good when someone cheats on us or when someone gives us a false expectation of how they feel, but what's worse is when we don't know it. So, worst case scenario, you're going to know that it's there. But I'm hoping for you guys that you will be able to come together and sort of create a healthy ebb and flow and work more as a system rather than selfish individuals, and both are possible. Okay, as your health goes, Aries, I actually think your health is pretty good right now, and if you've been struggling at all with it, prepare yourself to step into a place of consistent healthiness. If you're having any struggles, I would see a doctor, and I would, maybe get second opinions. But realistically, you're going to step into a space of consistency, one way or another. Whether it's for better or for worse, it's going to be consistent, and nothing's going to be too acute. I think that some Aries might be starting on a better diet or detox plan. Likewise, some Aries may have been doing this for a few months and are finally getting to the place where they've about had it. Like, that again kind of hits me with the Page of Wands reversed. It's like, oh, I've been on this diet and I've been exercising and I'm seeing results, but I could be doing other things. I just feel like Aries, it keeps hitting me that you guys want something new and you're not enjoying the routines that are set in place. It's a lot to have on your plate. It's others have a lot of expectation of you. And that's just where you kind of have to have that internal conversation with yourself, Aries. Where am I 5 years from now? Where am I a year from now? Is what I'm doing gonna be like this for the rest of my life, or is what I'm doing going to put me into a place where I'm happy? And how you answer that question is how you know your course of action for the present. You know, if you don't see yourself being happy with the results that your current projects have you reaching out for, then maybe it's time for a change. But if this is just kind of a routine and maybe a sacrificial time to experience rewards in the future, then maybe you need to push through. Those are all things that you just have to have an honest dialogue with yourself to find conclusions about. What else do we see here? You know, I also see this potentially as being surrounded by people who aren't doing their fair share of work. Maybe you have coworkers or roommates or even your significant other who have found themselves in a place of limbo, who have found themselves in just a situation that they don't really know which way to turn. It's like they're kind of just coasting along. They're kind of flying by the seat of their pants, I believe is the expression. And it's important that you have patience with that right now, Aries. Like, if you get too upset at them, it might cause a really big scene. So, you know, just find that balance of being patient with those around you who might not be doing the exact way that you want, or might not be giving you what you want, or acting the way that you find appropriate. Have patience with it, but also know when to put your foot down. Overall, though, Aries, I think that September as a whole for you is going to be a bit of a transitional month. There are definitely possibilities for some celebrations, for new chances to find passion in the brunt work of things, and that's kind of what you're going to have to do. And just don't take advantage of people. Don't let others take advantage of you. You're going to be celebrating in September. You're going to be at events, I feel like. But other than that, it's going to be more of a transitional month into October, I think. And it's going to be kind of resuming normalcy until then, where things may pick up more. So just bear these things in mind for your month of September, Aries. And I really hope that you can find that passion in what you're doing. I really hope that you can structure your routine the way in order to create a better future. And I hope that you have a great time at these celebrations that are indicated in the bottom left corner with the Four of Wands. And if you enjoyed this reading, be sure to check out my Etsy shop linked below in the description box. And I hope to see you for your October reading. Thanks, Aries. Have a great month.